Welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I wanted to show you guys something really quickly. Whenever I make my ground bloom flowers, as you saw in my previous video, one of them just flies in the air. This is the NEPT tube that works the best. I do have this drill jig here that I use. It just lines up with this, and it only works with this tube, but you slide that in there and then there's a little drill hole mark. I make 2 lines so I can see it. And this actually drills the tangential hole, which gives you the spin and all that good stuff. But what I wanted to show you guys was, if you take your normal 5-inch tube or whatever, this tool doesn't really fit completely in there. Or let me see if it does. I can't remember if it, okay, so yeah, it does fit in there. Never mind, it's the other tubes for my rockets that it doesn't fit. But anyways, it's got this little concave on here, and what this tool is for the buzz bombs. So I just cut this tube here. Obviously I wasn't going to use this tube, it's just kind of for showing you guys. And then inside it has this little, let me see if the camera will pick it up. I'm trying to use the different lights, that way it doesn't really blind you guys. But inside there you can see that little concave of clay. So essentially what that does is, you have this part of the tool here. This thing here, you drill that hole through where this area is in here, and it's supposed to have some of the clay act like a little wall, and that way whenever the burn through happens, it doesn't burn right through the tube, but it burns through the clay, then the tube, and that's what it's supposed to do. Now for my other ones that I'm using, like the helicopter you saw in my other video when it failed, that's because the tubes are cheaper for one, and it burned right through this, and it burned right through the tube. Even though I soaked them in Minwax hardener, it still burned right through, and that's because this thing burns so hot, and it has a tiny 1/8 hole. Obviously it's just pressure and the heat, it burns right through, and it pretty much deteriorates that hole pretty quickly. So my next buzz bombs I'm going to be making out of this tube here. That way it's much stronger, and it should fly much higher and all that good stuff, and not have a waste of a firework. But what I think is interesting on these is that even if I wanted to make a small ground bloom flower, I can literally use one of these, and you know, I put it on here like so, and then I would be pressing my black powder on there with the flat rammer, build it up as high as I want, put a clay plug on the end, and then take my drill jig and drill a hole through it, and then I can actually double up on the strength of the tube. But like I said, these NEPT tubes are really strong. They're good for buzz bombs, and that's what I bought them for. Make some of these sometimes, but I do like the rockets a lot better, so that's kind of what I've been making. And this year I'm gonna make a couple of whistles and all that I always do, but what I wanted to show you guys was this glow-in-the-dark rocket nose cone that I printed. I printed the bottom in black, but then I ran out, so then I figured I can do this in glow-in-the-dark. And what I want to show you guys is with the bright light. At night, I want to do this to see if it'll actually work. I'd be putting this light on this glow-in-the-dark material, and then launching the rocket and see if it turns into a tracer, if I can get that effect. I'm going to see if it'll do it. I think I've tried it before last year, and I don't think it worked, but I don't think I had a strong enough flashlight, and I think that's why it didn't work out. But if you see here with this bright light that I have, it actually does do a pretty good job of illuminating it. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you have any questions or anything, just ask down below. I'll try to answer the questions as best as I can. But anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching. Until the next one.